Today, it is Monday, September 24th, 2018. Last week was insane. Last week was the hottest week we've seen in months. It was so fun. And as you could bet, I was so ready for today. I was so excited for today. I didn't even want the weekend the last couple of days. I was like, hey, can we just jump right back into trading? That's how fun it's been. But we have not seen, giant rips just yet. Now, why have we not seen giant rips yet today? Well, again, it is Monday. It's the first day of the week. Everyone's excited, everyone's fired up, but no one really knows exactly where to go yet. Everyone's ready to make money. Everyone's ready to buy big. Everyone wants to attack because, as we know, last week we saw NBEV. We saw this stock go from $1 or $1.50 all the way up to $10. Last week we saw ALT. We saw ALT go from $4 all the way up to $36. Last week we saw WSM. We saw $6 all the way up to highs of $23. Last week we saw TLRY. This stock went from $110 all the way up to $300. There were so many big time rips, so many big time runs. Today, it was just a little scattered. No one really knew exactly where to go yet. No one knew exactly where to look. No one really knew exactly where to run. And that's why, with the mob being scattered, we don't have, too much volume or too much activity towards one certain play. Right? We had a couple different options today. A couple different potential. ZRX, a little potential. OGEN, a little bit of potential. LEDS, a little bit of potential. Even these previous top gainers, AWSM, a little bit of potential. TLRY, which was my favorite play today. Some nice potential. Let's talk about these. Let's talk about what we could see coming on up. Let's talk about some afternoon possible swing trades that we should be looking at right now. Well, let's start with my favorite stock today, which was TLRY. TLRY, this is a play I was looking at, waiting for, watching for, and I didn't pull the trigger, but I should have, and it would have made me a few $1,000s today. I probably would have been up around $5,000 today if I pulled the trigger. And why is that? TLRY, I was going to look for an entry at the $100 mark. Why was I going to look for an entry at $100 today on TLRY? Because TLRY, looking at this past chart history pattern, the stock is moving up, and right when it gets, the stock is climbing, and what happens when it gets right here? Right up to 100 bucks. Hits 100 bucks, it falls back down. Why does it fall when it hits 100 bucks? Just like a stock would fall when it goes from $9.99 to $10 and then falls at $10. $10 is the third strongest resistance line in penny stock, or second strongest resistance line in penny stocks, because again, it's a very tough number. We're going from single digits to now double digits. The stock is going from $9.99 to now $10 per share. It's like a legit, very good company. It's like the same exact thing when a stock goes from $99 to now $100 per share. It's a very hard psychological move to get through. It's very hard to break this line. So you can see TLRY came up towards $100 and then fell. And it came up to $100 and then it broke through 100. And then when it came back down to $100, it bounced off this mark. So we have old resistance, came back on down, and guess what happened? We bounced off $100. Just like the stock had trouble at $300, it has troubles at $100. These are strong natural resistance lines. Now, how did I know it was going to bounce at $100? Why didn't it bounce at $200? Why didn't it bounce at $250? Why 100? Because this stock, again, has the past chart history pattern of 100 here. Comes back down, bounce off support right here. The stock, why is it a great area? The stock fell $200. The stock was at 300 bucks. It fell $200. Sellers are going to say, hey, I got to get out of here. Shorters are going to say, hey, you know what? We brought this stock down 200 bucks. I'm pretty happy with my profit. TLRY, this would be a great bounce play area for this stock, right at the $100 mark, came back on down. I actually saw it. I was going to pull the trigger at 98 bucks. And then I would have sold it, to be honest, up towards around like 112. But again, I trade with a much larger account. I definitely understand that. But I wanted to get about 500 to 600 shares on TLRY. And if I did that, it would have went from, 99 bucks all the way up towards, let's say, 110. I would have been able to make $5,000 right there. So, just that possibility keeps me fired up, keeps me motivated. Now, TLRY, why did I say the stock was most likely going to get up towards around the 120 mark? Because if you guys look right here, the 13 EMA is right next to this 120 mark, 121. The stock, broke through, came back on down, $200 worth of selling. Buyers are going to take over. Again, people sell the stock when it's overbought. When it comes back down to the oversold side, people are going to buy the stock back on up. So again, people sell it when it's overbought. As the stock falls 200 bucks, buyers are going to move back on in. So that was a great play right there. Great play this morning. Very happy for anyone who got in at the $100 bounce play on TLRY. As strong as resistance it is, flip it around, is going to be as strong as support it's going to be as well. So TLRY, Great support line, great bounce play on the stock, and again, could be a great swing trade. We already talked about this earlier today. When you see these big time rips, these big time breakouts like TLRY, what do we usually see? We usually see the stock do what? You see a big time rip on this play. You see a stock, shoot on up, and it usually comes back down a little bit, and then shoots on up just a little bit, and it comes back on down, and shoots on up just a little bit, and it comes back on down. So we could still get what? We could still get this awesome bounce play right here, this awesome bounce play, because we got a huge rip, came back down, and we could get an awesome bounce play, technically back up to like 160 or so. Even with like 100 shares, you guys can make some big money, or even like 50 shares, you guys can make some big money. But stocks are usually end up, as I gave that example before, like I like to make it always as simple as possible. I never like complicating things. It's like chucking a basketball in the air. And again, as I say, this is you throwing your basketball in the air, having the time of your life, saying, oh, yes, I love basketball and love Dekmar trades. And then what do, guys? You throw your ball in the air right here. And then what happens to that ball? It's going to go like this. It's going to come and hit the ground, right? Shoots on up. Now it bounces on up, right? And then bounces on up, right? And then, eventually, wiggles its way on down. Same exact thing with stocks. So when a stock goes on a big time rip, when someone throws a stock up in the air, guess what happens? It comes back down, it hits the floor, and then bounces back on up. Comes back down, it hits the floor, and it comes back on up until, it becomes nothing, and then eventually, falls through, the floorboard right here on the stock. So, right here, this is kind of the same exact process, which is why it's a great looking bounce play after someone threw the ball in the air, and then the stock's coming on down, and watch your bounce. So again, very important that you guys keep your eyes peeled on for these upcoming, maybe a bounce right here, maybe a bounce right here before it, kind of starts evening out again. So just something to keep your eyes peeled on with TLRY, and could have a possible swing trade potential towards it today. What else do we have going on in this market right now? SAEX trying to come back on up. SAEX, this stock actually just started ripping a few moments ago, up 27%. I believe this stock had news, a week and a half ago. So this one's trying to get up towards around the $10 mark. Let's check this out on SAEX, September 14th, a 20-to-1 reverse stock split. We have been seeing a lot of big reverse stock splits lately, right? So we have been seeing a lot of reverse stock splits lately, and that could definitely lead to some big time climbs, some big time plays towards it. ALT, this stock had a reverse stock split, and you could see this stock kind of doing the same exact pattern. What happened? This stock opened up or got to a high right around 929. It fell back down towards around 450, started again making this little U-shaped pattern, and then shot all the way up towards around 38 bucks. SAEX, what is this stock doing? Well, this stock is having, again, this reverse stock split, making this U-shaped pattern. It's trying to break through up towards around 950, and now looking for a possible break all the way up to 10 bucks. Keep your eyes peeled on that. SAEX, probably a little bit of a bigger spread. If this stock can consolidate a little bit, start slowly moving its way on up, break of 10 bucks, we could definitely start seeing the stock creep on, this reverse stock split. Keep on watch, ladies and gentlemen. That could be the next ALT. You never know. ACST, this stock, again, didn't really have the best press release this morning. Had a huge gap up for, not really the most amazing press release. They talked about having a new vice president of finance. This came out this morning, new vice president of finance, and the stock went from, 58 cents all the way up to 96 cents. Usually these stocks don't hold up very well. Unless this is some well-known, super famous guy, it usually doesn't hold up very well. Sometimes you'll get like a very famous CEO of like I don't know, like just an example, like Microsoft, or like some amazing guy from Apple or something starts going down and works with the penny stock. Then it goes on a big time blow up. But right here at ACST, it had just some random guy, and it's like, oh, big time news, and then what happened? Just dropped right on off because it wasn't really that credible. It wasn't really that amazing. What else are we looking at? ACHV. This is a chart pattern setup, break of the 50-day moving average. Keep on watch for the possible break on up. So again, this stock has a lot of room to run. Low float at 4 million. Got to keep that stock on watch. AZRX, a lot of traders are looking at this play this morning. AZRX is one of the better press releases we saw. And if we want to take a look at this play, AZRX, what do we want to look at? We do announce a positive outcome showing statistically significance in our phase 2 chronic pancreatitis results. So we have positive outcome on our phase 2 showing statistic significance. So that's why AZRX had a beautiful climb. And actually this morning, I was very close to pulling the trigger at pre-market today. I was close to pulling the trigger right here on pre-market, actually right here at 3:15. I told you guys in pre-market, I always wake up a little bit before 7:30, so scanners are up and running by 7:30 for you guys. I saw the stock come out with positive phase two, went on a quick rip, and then there was a guy selling 5,500 shares at 3:15, and I was so close to buying those 5,500 shares. It was on the ask, and then I didn't, and someone else bought them. Someone else bought them, and then the stock went from 3:15 to 3:57, all the way up to $4, all the way up to 4:30, all the way up towards around $5. Again, that could have been like a $7,000, $8,000 opportunity right there. You know, even with not the most craziest day we've seen. Again, last week was insane, but there's still been two opportunities in my eyes that I could have made over $5,000 today, and that was again on TLRY, and that was also on a ZRX. Little sign out again, very low on volume right now, very low on volume, but still creeping. You got SAEX. SAEX guys starting to creep a little bit, get a little bit weird right now, starting to creep. That stock just got halted. Just got halted at this time. SAEX. Wait, is it halted? I believe it just got halted, or is it back in business? Okay, I think it's back in. Oh, it got. Yeah, it's 10:55. No, it says resumed. Okay, it's actually good. It's actually alive right now. I apologize, but yeah, keep your eyes peeled on SAEX right now. Things are getting awfully iffy over there. Awfully iffy over on SAEX at this time, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, what's also kind of the big issue we've been having? The big issue we've been having is TOS has been having problems. What are you doing, TOS? Think or swim. Look at this. I try to load up SAEX right now. It's not even coming up. Taking money away right now. So let's see. Like if we type in ABIO, is that coming up now? Yeah, TOS, they came out with an update over the weekend. So they came out with an update over the weekend, and it's really been messing up their system. As you can see, all it's doing is waiting for data. It just keeps loading. We've had a ton of traders in chat already say, hey, their Thinkorswim isn't working either. So we're just seeing a lot of issues with TOS, which could be taking some volume away from the market. Why? Because the Thinkorswim is a huge, broker for traders. We have a lot of people trading on this, a broker platform, and if they're not working, there's not going to be as much activity and volume. Correct? There's not going to be as much activity and volume if they're not working. So right now, I can't pull the trigger on like this stock. And again, what does this stock remind me of? Reverse stock split. Stock have a gap up right up towards around 875, U-shaped pattern, top resistance at 950, looking for the breakout on a low float play. Oh, okay, ALT, the stock that had a reverse stock split coming on up, has resistance at around $9, a U-shaped pattern, break through $10, ran all the way up to $36. So, that's, you got to be ready. Anything can go at any minute, guys. We are in the fall trading. This is what I love, guys. The fall, it's the best. The fall, we got big time breakouts. We got, football. If, you're a girl, you got those pumpkin lattes, on sale. It is the best time of the year, guys. The fall is so fun. There's so many big time profits. And, we got spikes just out of nowhere sometimes. So many opportunities going to be coming on up. And I just wanted to talk about, some of the different plays that we've seen. Just like going through the top gainers, giving you guys an idea of what we've been looking at. And also, again, SAEX starting to get a little bit of activity. Be ready for anything. This is a very hot market. It's a very hot time. It's your time. Make sure you guys are getting after it. SAEX at this time is halted. Again, as I talked about, guys, if Thinkorswim is down, there's going to be a lot of less volume towards these plays, because we think about it like this. I always say, break it down, make it as simple as possible. 100 people in the stock market. 100 people in the stock market, 30 of them are on E-Trade. 40 of them are on Thinkorswim. 10 of them are, let's say, on SureTrader. 2 of them are on Quest Trade. 1 of them is on, or I don't know, some other U-Stock trade. We have another, 8 on whatever. You guys get what I'm saying. But if we have like 40 of them out of 100 taken away, we're not going to get as many big time breakouts. Like right now, I can't trade SAEX at this time because SAEX still won't load up for me on TOS. It's taking away this opportunity for me. And if there's 100 people in the stock market and 40 of them can't trade now, and now only 60 people can trade, we may not get as big as a breakout. Only concern about today is just waiting for data. Like, come on. So yeah, so that's just a little bit of an issue right there that may take away some volume. But SAEX, keep this one on watch, guys. Maybe the next ALT. That's how I made over $10,000 last week, on this big rip, reverse stock split, U-shaped pattern, low float play. Could have twins coming on up. So keep that on watch. Be ready to rock and roll at all times, guys. I love the fall. I love working with you, and it's going to get very, very fun, very exciting. And last week was basically a huge kickoff into the fall. We are, in the fall right now, and things are getting very exciting. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'm happy to help you guys out with anything you need. And as always, let's have a great week ahead.